Hi, and welcome back to Bible Talks with Belinda. This is part two of the Bitcoin dreams that I had over the past week. If you haven't watched part one, go back and watch part one because in part one, that dream is the dream that I asked the Lord to give me confirmation regarding this dream. All right, so I have to bring up a few screens and I got some screens to show you what I saw in my dream, so that this can flow a little easier and maybe be easier to follow on. All right, so let's get started. All right. So before I share my dream with you, I just want to give you a little background of what was going on with me the week that I had the dream. So the week that I had the dream, the Lord had called me on a fast that week. It is the same week that Israel struck Iran. And they struck Iran on Friday. I remember it was Friday the 13th, and I had the dream early Friday the 14th, that morning of Friday the 14th. But on I fasted 3 days that week. The Lord had called me into to fasting and praying that week. I didn't know why, but a few days He had called me to fast and to pray and just to intercede, in the spirit. And on that Friday, I was online and I saw a ministry that I follow. Israel had hit Iran and they were doing an all night prayer session from 11 at night to I think 6 o'clock the next morning. And so I was in prayer. I probably prayed on that line for about 2 hours, and I got off, and then I had this dream. So I just want to kind of set up, the leading up to this dream. And then, that week while I was praying and fasting, the Lord had been dealing with me about the wealth transfer. So I was asking for confirmation, and um I was asking for more confirmation on what I have been receiving. All right, so I just want to set it up so you all don't think that I had I ate something and I fell asleep and I had this crazy dream. No, it was actually things that led up to having this dream. All right, so I just wanted to explain that. So what you're seeing is what I saw in my dream. All right, I was in like this dark cave, and in this dark cave, I saw these numbers. Now, what I remember when I woke up, I remember seeing a 0.0005 in a trail of numbers, and at the end of that trail of numbers, I saw BCM. All right. Now, in the dream, I had just like a knowing that what I was looking at, had a dual meaning, because in the dream I said Bitcoin money. When I looked at this, I said Bitcoin money. And then also I knew that this represented some kind of cryptocurrency. So it was just like I just knew this what I was looking at had dual meaning. All right, I had panned over and I looked to my left and I saw a list of people's names with housing. It was housing grants. And then I saw a list of people names, and I saw money listed beside their name. Now it was like 5,200 and something. I don't know how much, but I know it was like $5,000 and something else. And it was like this long list of people's names and then money beside their names. All right. All right, y'all. So when I woke up, I was like, Bitcoin money. I gotta go find this cryptocurrency, because remember in the dream when I saw BCM, this right here, and I saw the numbers, I knew it had dual meaning. I knew that it was a type of cryptocurrency, and then I knew it also represented Bitcoin. So I get up, the first thing I type in is Bitcoin money cryptocurrency because I'm thinking, okay, this God wants me to invest in this cryptocurrency. I don't know what it is. All I know, I'm looking for BCM and I'm looking for these values that I know it's a 0.005 and I couldn't remember the rest of the numbers, but I'm like, as long as I find BCM and 0.005 something else, I know I found what I'm looking for. So the only thing that I could come up with that I found online is this right here, and it's called BitCamp. And I looked at another. Hopefully, my screen will show. No, it's not showing. All right, so I looked up Big Camp, but it is not a coin. It's like 10 million of these coins, and I think it launched like 2 years ago, and it immediately crashed. So I think it was some type of um scam coin. And I'm like, Lord, why would you show me a scam coin? Right? Because I'm like, I don't believe it was something that the Lord was calling me to invest in, but to call me to dig a little deeper into what Big Camp is. It's kind of like a um follow the clues. All right, so I came across some information for Big Camp. And it just says that BitCamp is a learning platform powered by blockchain, which connect professionals, tutors, students from across the world. Anyone with internet access can study and make money by sharing knowledge on our platform, no matter where they are located in the world. So it looks like some kind of learning, institution type deal. We experienced how challenging it was for international education institutions to carry on with their operations during COVID-19. The only option available to students at that time was online learning. In recent time, e-learning platforms are now highly appreciated by students, teachers, professionals. Um, and so you come down here, they talk about some type of, course and certificate. It really doesn't go into what they're going to be, what exactly are these people going to be teaching and all this. Content creators, tutors, professionals, we will have a chance to make money in the BitCamp learning ecosystem by sharing skills and knowledge, things like that. I tried to go online, their page is not working. I tried to click on a white paper for them, that's down. So it was only like it came on the scene about 2-3 years ago, and then it immediately crashed once it came online. So I kept doing more research about BitCamp, and I came to this. This is the University of Maryland. BitCamp, and I don't know if these two are related of some kind of way. I think they are, but I don't know if somebody tried to create a coin for BitCamp. This thing right here, when try to spin off a cryptocurrency for this during COVID, you know, I'm really not sure. But anyway, this is BitCamp, and BitCamp is the University of Maryland's premier hackathon. They bring together over 1,400, over 1,000 students, making it the largest collegiate hackathon on the East Coast. This is very interesting. They have top students. These are some of the top, brightest students from around the country, designer, builders, thinkers from around the country come to College Park, spend 36 hours working on apps, hardware projects, things like that for a major league hacking system, consistently placing in the top 5 since 2013. Like I said, I don't know if this is related or if somebody tried to create a scam coin using BitCamp, but it led me to from this cryptocurrency, which I saw these numbers in my dream. I showed you on the other screen. And so I don't know if this was just another clue to lead me here. But when I came down here, I thought this was very interesting. Um, on their website, then their website looks a little kiddish, but I think it's because they want to attract the youngest and brightest. If you don't know, some kids have been responsible for some of the greatest hacking of systems in the history of hacking. So someone that's like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, they're not as skilled as someone as a kid who's able to probably watch some YouTube videos or read something. Like they were brought up, in this kind of environment. All right, and just real quick off topic, if you all remember when Elon Musk stood up Doge for the audit of the government agencies, a lot of the people that he was using, they were teenagers. Some of them like 17, 18, 19. I think the oldest one was like 21 years old. Don't think that they just started, when he hired them. No, they probably went to something like this or something similar, from like, and they've been doing this type of work since they were like 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. It looks like it was held from April 11th to the 13th, 2025. Um, 36 hours to learn, create with world-class mentors, world class, which is very interesting. Over 1,000 participants, whether you're a seasoned hacker or new at it, there's something for everyone. Like I said, I never even heard of this, you guys, and I was just kind of led on this kind of trail to try to find out what this is. So General Track, built the perfect hack using hardware, software. So they learn how to hack into different things. They learn AI, Chat GPT, how to use all that type of technology. Now, this is where I kind of stopped in my track, because quantum computing is, there's a lot of buzz around quantum. I don't know why I get caught up saying that word, quantum computing. There's a lot of buzz around quantum computing right now. And so doing this hackathon, they had where it said hackers would delve into the field of quantum computing with exclusive mentors, sponsors, and workshops. Because quantum computing, if you guys don't know, that is the biggest threat to cybersecurity that there is right now. All right. If you've been a previous participant on the quantum track, there will be new challenging prompts for you to tackle. So they want to kind of get these people in as young as they can, and who knows, somebody may visit them in, 2 or 3 years and say, hey, do you want to come work for the CIA, the NSA? I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. All right. So, a few days later, I came across this. All right. I came across this Forbes article. I don't know if this is something that is, it came up because I was researching, because, when I looked at that, quantum computer really stood out because there's a lot of buzz around quantum computing. So I was asking the Lord, I was like, I don't really know what, I think I have an idea of what all of this is, but God, I need something else. I kept pulling on the Lord to give me more. So I kind of held what I had. A few days later, this article comes up and it says, it was actually another article, but I found this one as well. It says, will quantum computing kill Bitcoin? And I thought, wait a minute. Now, one of the things, the biggest threat that I got from looking, we just saw a Bitcoin camp is some type of hacking camp that, that is held, right? And then this quantum computing, will it kill, does it have the capability of killing Bitcoin? You can, you can read this article for yourself. Let's see here. Here it says at the start of 2024, estimated 500 people globally held Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, a 34 increase from last year. Tells you where they reside at. All right. Uh, it says Bitcoin currently uses cryptographic schemes such as elliptic curve digital signature algorithm and Schnorr signatures to verify ownership and authorize transactions. These systems rely on the difficulty of deriving a private key from a public key. All right, so basically, it pretty much tells you that Bitcoin, if you don't know, Bitcoin is on a blockchain, and the encryption to get to Bitcoin blockchain is it's supposed to be one of the greatest and best encryption there is. That's why so many people invest in Bitcoin, because the chances of it getting hacked, the actual blockchain getting hacked, is a very low probability. Before quantum computing. Now, if you have your Bitcoin on another wallet, your private wallet, and you lose, somebody can hack into a vulnerable system that you're using for a wallet. That's a possibility, but the actual blockchain, all these years, it was no possibility of it being hacked. All right. It says quantum computers, however, operate on different principles, thanks to phenomena like superstition. Am I reading that right? Superposition and entanglement. They can perform many calculations in parallel. All right. In 1994, mathematician Peter Shor developed a quantum algorithm capable of factoring large numbers exponentially faster than classical methods. This algorithm is run on sufficiently powerful quantum computing, which could undermine encryption systems like ECDSA. Okay, which is what Bitcoin currently uses. No, Bitcoin currently uses um, for their encryption. So, all right, we come down here, and what does this say? It said, is this the end of Bitcoin or not? Could quantum computing kill Bitcoin? In theory, yes. If Bitcoin failed to adopt, quantum computers suddenly became powerful enough to break its encryption, its value would plummet. Let me read that again, because this is kind of a wild ride how I got led to this here. After everything I just showed you all, this is what I saw in my dream. I saw where Bitcoin was going to plummet to, and then I was kind of taking on this follow the clues to see how it would happen. All right. Once again, could quantum computing kill Bitcoin? In theory, yes. If Bitcoin failed to adopt and quantum computers suddenly became powerful enough to break its encryptions, its value would plummet. But the scenario assumes crypto stands still while quantum computing advances, which is highly unlikely. Okay, it says that the community is already preparing. Well, here's the thing: quantum computing is already here. If the cryptographic community is preparing, they're behind. You see what I'm saying? Because quantum computing is here. It's not something that's coming on the scene. It's here. Moreover, if quantum computers become capable of breaking current encryption methods, the consequences would extend far beyond Bitcoin. Secure communications, financial transactions, digital identities, and national security. Um, all depends on this. All right. All right. So I'm going to attempt to give you the interpretation of the dream that I had. Like I said, I'm a dreamer. I'm not an interpreter. But I can give you what I think the dream means. So the values that I was seeing when I was looking at BCM in this 0.0053, I was thinking at the time, this is what Bitcoin this is Bitcoin. This is going to be Bitcoin's value. And I was in like a dark cave and I saw this highlighted on the wall. And I knew that Bitcoin was going to crash to this value. That's the best way I can put it. Right. And I knew that BCM also had another meaning as well. All right. That was on one side of the wall. When I looked on the other side of the wall, I saw a housing grants, and then I saw a list of people's names with money beside it. Now, I believe that the gray wall represented the everything that was etched in the wall. I think that represents this has been set in stone. This is something that is definite. It's not like you can, if something's been etched in a stone wall, unless it's eroded away over a period of time or completely destroyed, it's not something that you can just go up to and erase, right? So that was one of the interpretations I got. This is set in stone. This is a high probability of happening, right? Now, I don't know if it's something that could be prayed away, if it's something that the saints can pray away, if it's something that the Lord has ordained to happen. I don't know, but from the interpretation I got, Bitcoin is going to crash to this value is going to either hit zero or below zero. All right. When this happens, it's going to release money that has been held up for people um, unjustly. That's the only way I can put it. So all these list of people that was next to what I saw this Bitcoin going to, I saw a list of names of people whose money it's being. It was that was a representation of money being held back. Now it could be 5,000, it could be more. I don't know. It was a representation of money that has been held back from people that could have been released, but when this event happens, that money is going to be it's set in stone for these people to get this money, but it's being held back um, for time, for a period. That's all I can say. All right. So when I woke up and I was thinking, hey, I got to go find this coin. As you saw, I took you to what BCM, and I saw those same exact numbers, that 0.005 and a trail of numbers. I saw that in my dream, BCM, and I when I went to go look it up, it was BitCamp. All right. So then I started Googling, okay, what is BitCamp? And then it took me to that website of Maryland, BitCamp University of Maryland website, where the University of Maryland holds hackathons where some of the best and brightest people across the country come together and they do a 36-hour hackathon. They are developing apps, websites, learning quantum computer. I don't know if they're trying to learn how to hack quantum computer or whatever. So, and then, like I said, a couple of days after that, I started seeing articles about the ability for quantum computer to possibly hack into in the encryption of Bitcoin. So what do I think it all means? I think the way Bitcoin is going to fall is somebody is going to hack into the encryption using quantum computer, and that is how Bitcoin is going to crash. Now, I want you all to tell me what you think of the dream.